needs to be over here where you can see. Guys, there's plenty of room over here. All right. So the first step that you need to do, and if you guys look at the photograph that's up on the board, you'll notice on the project, at the very bottom of the project, which is called the foot, you'll notice that there is a strip of clay or bisqueware that's been exposed. It's not glaze. So the glaze does not go all the way to the very bottom of the project. So what we need to do, and if you see on this project right here, I have already marked with pencil that line. Okay, so when I glaze this first layer on here, I'm not going to glaze past that line. Now if I do accidentally get some glaze past it, I'm just going to wipe it off after I'm finished with all three of my outside coats, okay? But we want to know where that line needs to be. So the way we're going to do that is that you guys are going to take a 4H pencil. You're going to need to have another pencil in your hand. It doesn't matter what kind of pencil. And all you're going to do is just take this pencil, put it right down here, and you're just going to mark right above it. Okay, so just kind of spin this around, mark your line all the way around until you have it all marked, okay? So it just should be one continuous line, okay? And I've already done that, but we're going to use this as sort of our model because this is just the right height, so. Okay, so after you mark it, then you are ready to start glazing, okay? For this particular one, the first color I'm gonna use is Aztec Turquoise. All the colors are over here on the cart. The colors are labeled on the very top of the jar, so that way it should be easy for you guys to find it. If you're having any problems finding it, chances are probably all the jars that are on the cart are already with someone else. So you may need to just go to wherever that person is, okay? So a lot of you guys will be sharing. The first thing you want to do with your glazes before you use them, put your hands on these because these lids aren't a sure thing. You want to give it a good shake, okay? After you shake it, and again, make sure you've got your hands on top of the lid because we've had kids just try to shake it and they chuck the whole thing out. So it's a nice mess to clean up. So give it a good shake. And then you're ready to start glazing. Now, if you have either the amber or the metallic brown color, even though it looks red, it's a different color when it's gonna fire. If the glaze in its raw form is red, you need to put your glaze in one of these little cups, which are again on the cart. And so what you need to do is you just want to start with putting a little bit in here. You don't need much to begin, okay? So just to start. You can always come up and get more later. This is also too another good way if again, there's a lot of people that need the same color. This is a good way to kind of spread it out a little bit. It's just get a cup and pour a little bit of the glaze in there. And when I mean a little bit, I mean just that much. And again, if you run out, you can always come up and get more. The reason why, if you have a red colored glaze in its raw form, why you have to put it in here is that what we have found is that the red colored glazes tend to kind of rub off really easily. So if I'm going straight from this jar and painting on top of there and I'm rubbing off this metallic brown and I put my brush back into this container, I have now contaminated this entire jar of Aztec Turquoise with another color. And then somebody else comes and uses it, they're probably gonna get a color they don't want, okay? So this is just the safest way to do this. So whatever's left in here cannot go back in here. So you have to use everything that's in this container. That's why it's best to start with just a little bit, because again, you can always get more if you need to. So when you're doing this, you just wanna make sure we're not like painting, okay? So we're not painting in the sense where you really wanna control the amount of paint on your brush. You want to get a lot on your brush so it's really heavy, and you're just going to basically just brush this on. I got a little brush here. You do need to be careful. Some of these brushes shed. I think, oh, there it is. And just kind of pick it out. There we go. So I'm just going to brush this on. It should go fast, okay? And because I want the inside and outside colors to fade, I'm going to go ahead and overlap this. And I'm putting it, I've got my project up top of this white piece of paper, and it's just to make cleanup a lot easier. Hopefully it'll prevent us from having to wash the tables. And so when I get down to this line, I'll show you guys how I do this. So I do like to kind of tilt this up or over, and I'm just going to paint up to the edge. Can kind of go across if that makes it easy. But I'm just going to paint to the edge. And that's basically how you're going to do it. Now you don't want to get glaze on the very bottom of the project, right here, okay? Any glaze that gets on the bottom will have to be wiped off, which everybody will probably end up having to do it. So again, just look at how fast this is going. I'm just kind of slopping this on. Not looking for a super thick layer, just enough to cover. And again, I'm going to kind of fade this up, this other color up, just like I faded that one down. Just I'm going to do the opposite. Okay? So this is just your first coat. When we come in on Black Day, we will do our second coat the same way. All right? So there you go. So what I'm going to do is just kind of stop this, and you guys